So I have a question from Lisa. So Lisa asks, now to get into private practice, do I need a PhD, LCSW, LMSW, and do I need to form an LLC? Well, those are some different areas, right? And I'm going to answer this question the best I possibly can. So when you think about starting a private practice, you're thinking about two different things. One, are your credentials and education enough to get started? And two is, what type of organization should you form? So what's your body? What's the organization or the company type that you're forming in order to practice, right? To see private clients. Well, one, you don't need to form any sort of a business to actually start seeing clients. As long as you have adequate licensure, you can go ahead and do that as a sole proprietorship. That means you're just a person who owns this business and you're seeing clients and you're getting payment from them. And you would report all of that under your social security number. And you'd put all of that income into a bank account that you create just to put that income into. You don't want to mix it with your other bank account, your regular one. This can be another regular bank account that you just put money into from seeing clients through your practice. So that's one part. Now, sole proprietorship is okay. And you can obviously, you would have your liability insurance or malpractice insurance, right? So that would keep you covered if there are any issues that come up. But an LLC or a PLLC can provide a measure of safety, just like any organization can provide some measure of safety for the most part. I recommend an LLC or a PLLC most of the time for people who want to start a private practice. But again, you can do it just as you. So just as Lisa Jones with a bank account in the name of Lisa Jones, and Lisa Jones would use her social security card, her social security number rather, to tell the federal and state governments that this is what she earned and she needs to pay taxes on it and do things that way, right? But again, bank account in a separate bank account to put all that money in. You don't want to do what's called intermingling funds, where you have your money going into the same accounts. It can go out from anywhere, but income, which is what they want to tax you on, needs to go into a separate bank account, even if it's just in your name, right? The next part of that question, so that's the organization type, right? And again, go ahead, get started as a sole proprietorship and form an LLC or a PLLC over time, or join my course and I can walk you through that really precisely in our group coaching session, and you can figure that out. The other part of that is your credential, right? Your degree, your licensure. So if you, what I recommend, I mean, you can start as an LMSW, but an LMSW is allowed to do very general and basic counseling, right? So, and they have to have a supervisor. They have to have an LCSW or licensed supervisor with next up credential to make sure that they're doing everything properly. I recommend getting your LCSW. You absolutely do not need a PhD for this. If you want to get a PhD, that's great. You can teach, you can do lots of other things, but to have a lucrative and thriving private practice, getting your LCSW will be exactly what you need, okay? So get your LCSW, start off as a sole proprietorship, go from there. I hope this was helpful.